Yeah, I'm on Durango, number 95. Take me to the home, kick boots, and ultra live. See heaven flash a horror show. Knock it nice and smooth. Step it back and watch it flow. That's right. I'm talking about Rob Zombie's Never Gonna Stop, one of the more underrated theme songs that Edge, formerly known as Edge, now known as Adam Copeland, apparently has entered to. And I think one of the more underrated songs, entrance musics ever. I mean, everybody loves Alter Bridge and Metalingus and all that kind of stuff. I prefer the Rob Zombie version. We are talking about the debut of Adam Copeland in AEW this week. I am Brian, the intellectual savior of the wrestling masses, and I'm joined by the funniest man in the room from Birmingham, England, KD Hinken. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing absolutely lovely. I haven't shaved yet, so I'm not quite the comedic babyface that I always am. But as always, I'm still everybody's favourite, KD Hinken. Carry on.
Of course he is. You know, I mean, you don't have to be clean shaven. You know, just because I shaved this morning doesn't mean you have to.
I don't. This is me not shaving for like a few weeks, so this is all I get to. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's filled in nicely. Congratulations.
You want to see my butt?
Oh well, maybe later on you can grace us with that. Big thank you
with Vigos Plus on the Patreon.
Right. A big thank you to everyone who is joining us, however you are joining us, whether it's here on YouTube or on our many podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Google, and the ever-popular Intergalactic Radio, down since day one. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your word of mouth. We appreciate the likes and subscribes and sharing with your friends and family. KD, I have a very important question to pose to you this week. We can talk whatever you want about Adam Copeland debuting at the end of Wrestle Dream and the implications going forward. But given AEW's track record of what they do with debuting talent, you know, the big names, and we can talk about those big names till the cows come home. I think everybody out there knows who we're talking about. Given their track record, I feel personally like they cannot mess this up with Adam Copeland, because if they do, I wonder if we can ever take them seriously as a destination for marquee talent ever again. They're great with the homegrown people. They're great with their Darby Allins and their MJFs and, you know, stuff like that. But we've talked about the names before, and Adam Copeland is the latest one to come from a rival promotion to All Elite Wrestling. And in our brains, I know at least in my brain, I'm already kind of fantasy booking his next 12 months. Yeah, who can he tangle with, and who and yes, he has designs on the AEW championship. Of who doesn't? I mean, I want the AEW championship.
yeah.
Never going to happen. I'm like
Michael
knock
it the fuck off once the title.
Yeah, right. I'll have to wait for it to go in the clearance bin at Walmart or something. Yeah. But what say you, Katie? What direction do you want to take this in? Do you want to take issue with my question? Do you want to agree? Do you want to disagree? Where do you want to go with it?
Well, first of all, I will say I just checked out that Rob Zombie Edge song, and yeah, you're right, underrated song. I remember that. That was a tune.
Underrated banger. It's not one of it, he didn't have it for very long. I feel like it was only like 6 months he had it before he went on to something else. But the guitars at the beginning and the smoke that he would come out, would obscure him, and then he'd come out, and that was when he was doing. He had the long leather trench coat and stuff like that. I thought that was a really cool look.
In all fairness, I don't actually remember when he used that at all in wrestling. I just remember he had it, and I remember that song like it. I remember it very well because I had all the CDs. So
I feel like it was 02. 01, 02, because I remember a couple of times Paul Heyman was on commentary for, he's hanging with his boy Rob Zombie. Well, the Alliance is, because that was around this time when he was doing all that stuff. So I feel like it was 01, 02 era. He used that entrance music.
Okay, yeah. Like as far as the other stuff goes, though, with AEW, I mean, it is right. It's completely right. Like, see, you were saying that you're kind of fantasy booking. That's what I'm looking for. The next 12 months.
Yes,
I am as well. But at the same time, what's in my head more than anything is me booking the next 2 months and how bad is he going to mess it up? Because, like, I have a lot more love for AEW now. Like, I'm an AEW fan fully. I think they're the best place they've been. But as far as utilizing a talent, normally I'd say no. Like, I don't think they're going to do a good job anymore. But with this being someone like Adam Copeland, I did it. See, I did it.
Yes, you did.
Remembered. Thank you. With someone like Adam Copeland, you imagine he's got a lot more pull, like a CM Punk. And let's be fair, we were saying, I think before the show started, CM Punk had a very good run. Arguably, you know, like from the beginning.
I qualified it in the pre-show meeting. I said Punk at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not
very
recent
important.
vintage Punk. Like
on screen, his storylines, you know, what he was doing was always tip top.
Yes.
Until Collision, obviously, but different story.
Right.
So I could see maybe it being that, like maybe Copeland could go that kind of way because he has a lot more pull, and he should know. So I'm really in two minds about it. Like, I can't decide either way what I think is going to happen. What would you say? What do you think is going to happen, first of all?
I'm approaching it from the standpoint of AEW has a reputation of being kind of like what WWE was doing a while back, just hoovering up names because they were the latest and greatest. And then we're just going to sign you so you can't go to Impact. We're going to sign you so you can't go to New Japan. We're going to sign you so that you can't go to Lucha Underground or wherever it is you want to go.
And so we could just have the pop as well.
Right. And so we'll put you on TV every couple of months just so people remember that you're with us, but we're not going to have anything for you. And all the names, I mean, you know, the one that's still like the two that still boggle my mind, Miro and Keith Lee. I don't understand how you can't find anything for them to do with all the hours of television programming you have. And they're just not there. I don't know if it's health. I don't know if it's booking. I don't know if it's creative. I don't know if it's attitude. I don't know what it is.
But let's
I'm not going to bore everybody.
Though.
I'm not going to bore everybody by going through the litany of people that we feel like have, you know, been marginalized or made to seem ordinary. But you absolutely cannot do that with somebody the stature of Adam Copeland. And I'll tell you why. It appears to me, anyway, he just finished up a 2.5-year run in WWE where he appeared to be in good health, except for the one time he had to step away because of a nagging injury. I forget what it was, but he had great rivalries
in a match. Like,
yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah, it was, you know,
great
just
rivalries
a genuine
with Roman
injury.
Reigns, great rivalries with Daniel Bryan, great rivalries with Finn Balor. You know, created the Judgment Day and then got kicked out. You know, there was some meat on that bone.
Main event Mania.
Yes. But it appears like you have a guy who is, number one, healthy, number two, motivated, number three, he's got the blessing of his family, if you can read the tea leaves from his promo on Wednesday night, and number four is salivating at the amount of talent that he has never locked horns with ever before in any capacity. He mentioned Miro in his promo. He mentioned Samoa Joe. He mentioned Kenny Omega. He mentioned Jay White. He mentioned a whole bunch of people. I'm not saying put him in the title picture right away.
No.
I'm saying he should have a marquee spot like at the end of the first hour. Like he should probably be coming out and like wrestling one of the young up and comers.
Yeah.
You know. And yes, the stuff with Christian is encouraging.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get onto then.
So you sew up that first. And if they are going to align with each other to have a couple tag matches, then you get that out of the way. Maybe that's your first.
I don't think that will happen now. I think that will happen eventually, maybe, if they're both around long enough. But I don't think getting to that now, because I think when you were saying that then, I was just kind of realizing in my head, like, it is very different because he is kind of talking in the same way like CM Punk was at the beginning about or excited about the talent, you know, which is good throughout the way because maybe if he's got that same kind of state of mind that led Punk to doing what he was doing, then it's really good because we know Adam Copeland, one in Sweden, isn't gonna have the same issues like, you know, Punk did. He's not going to be fucking fighting people in the back for no reason. He's not going to be lunging for a Tony Khan.
Copeland's a bit more on an even keel.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a mature person.
Yeah.
As much as I'm a fan of Punk, kind of in some way, he's still immature as hell.
But I'm just bringing the point up that I hope the brain trust at AEW realizes
Yeah.
how much they need to hit a home run on this one.
Well, I think he's going to have a very good beginning just because he's also got something. That's what I meant to say. Justin went out of my mind while I was getting annoyed by Punk. He's got the built-in storyline that none of the others had. This whole thing with Christian. If I do it right, he could go for a bit. And that title, I'd be okay with him going for. Maybe not straight away. It'd be really cool if, like, at first, like, Christian beats Edge a couple of times because that'll go really well into the story because that's so the opposite of what it's always been before. But then Edge,
Right.
Eventually taking a title off him would be cool.
Even I think so. I mean, I think the TNT title is a logical one to start out with.
Yeah.
And as a sidebar, I never used to think much of Christian as a character.
Same.
I didn't like the creepy little bastard phase. I didn't like the, really.
So you can't even think of any other
iterations. But these last couple of years Captain in AEW, he's turned himself into one of the most smarmy, unsettling, heels, from the clothes he chooses to wear to the way he carries the microphone to the way he sneers at you, and he did it again on Wednesday when he came out and he listened to everything Copeland had to say.
Yeah.
And they hugged.
So good.
And then he just picks up the microphone, go F yourself.
He's so good.
And walks away and then brings Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne out.
I love what he's building, though, to be fair. I just feel like suddenly his faction's like coming together with Nick Wayne. That was good. That was the most deserved heel turn in wrestling for years. Nick Wayne turning on Darby Allin, all of that. It was just made sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You're right. Like, Christian has completely just reimagined himself in there. And the stuff he's doing is great. Because I think a big part of this discussion around Edge is always going to be around Christian as well. When he's coming in, looking at what he's going to be doing going forward, anyway. Yeah. But he's an example, though, I suppose, to be fair, of how somebody big came in. They treated him as big, because he was quite big at that point compared to...
Because he had done stuff in Impact and all that, and made a name for himself there. And, he came into the AEW, and it was a slow build.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He was hanging around, like, the periphery, and then all of a sudden, like, he started having these rivalries and these feuds and stuff like that, and
as soon as he went heel, as soon as he turned on Jungle Boy, it just clicked, man.
Yes.
And, like, the stuff he's saying, he never would have been able to say in WWE either. And he goes freaking too far sometimes, but he does it well. Like, he's just very good.
And that's the part that makes me not care if they start off with Copeland versus Christian, because there's plenty of story there. There's plenty of history there. And now I know that Christian can more than hold his own. Yeah. But I've also seen Edge versus Christian before.
Yeah.
We
have, but we've never seen Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the other stuff. It's the down the road 2 months from now, 4 months from now. Turn the calendar to the new year, 24. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff that intrigues me.
So do you think
him and Joe?
Yeah.
In going at it on the microphone together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, with as much of a psychological, much of the psychology that Joe wrestles with now. And it's not a necessity because his body is not built the way it used to be.
He has to
be more of a thinking man's wrestler.
Yeah, he's kind of always been like that, though, hasn't he, as well?
Yes. He's had to be a little bit more cagey than, brute force, because, this isn't 2005 TNA anymore.
This is arguably the run of his career as well. Right now, Joe. It's a shame it's not on a bigger platform, as in, the title and all that. But that brings me on to my question for you then, actually. Would you consider, say, the first year, would you consider his first year to be a success? He would need to be a champion? In
the picture for a championship. See, that now, I don't mean to say, and I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. I don't mean to say throw him into the AEW championship picture right away.
Yeah.
They have a good they have a good passel of mid-card titles now to where, like the TNT championship, the the international championship, sorry.
Yeah. They've done good things with those
I
titles
forget who has it right now. Who beat Cassidy for it?
Oh, it's Phoenix.
Okay.
Well, no, Moxley beat Cassidy, and then Phoenix beat Moxley because Moxley couldn't get up anymore.
Right. So my guess is that Phoenix drops it to a heel or somebody that, will have it for a while, and then Copeland
Moxley's going to get it back on Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that's why he said Jon Moxley then. Maybe that's why he led off with Jon Moxley. Maybe the plan is start a program with Moxley, because that would intrigue me. That would be a clash of styles that, and all the discussion,
you can throw in all the stuff in the promos about WWE, without obviously fully having to say it.
Right.
But there's a lot of history without actually ever getting to touch there.
But I feel like a mid-card title somewhere in the first 5 or 6 months would be, especially if maybe the plan is he does a little bit business with Christian, and then he turns his attention to Moxley, or Moxley turns his attention to him or something like that. Hey, I heard you, I heard you talking about me a couple months ago when you debuted.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a multitude of ways to get there, but what I'm saying is he's got to be on TV. He's got to be semi-main pay-per-view. I mean, he's not. I mean, there's too many stories for MJF to tell without Copeland going after MJF. I don't think he's the one to take the belt off of him.
No. I wouldn't mind seeing him go against the heel MJF though. That would be good. But yeah, the placement doesn't feel right at the moment.
Right. Right now we've got tweener MJF. Best I can tell. I mean, because Jay White's walking around with Juice Robinson and the Bang Bang Gang doing what he's doing, of course, MJF is the default babyface in this scenario.
Much, yeah.
The less I
won't even get into that whole freaking devil thing. I won't even get into the whole devil thing from Dynamite. That whole thing at the end of it.
Oh, were they attacked?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be Adam Cole. I think the injury might be Bull. I'm starting to think it might be. I'm starting to think the injury might be a lie. Because he keeps doing things before not doing his surgery. He's done a video with him going to do, I think, with Roderick Strong.
Yes,
he did that one.
He gives him the
scooter. He did the one on the boat as well with Big Show and that.
Yeah.
And he's still got it, from what I've heard. I think the storyline's going to be that, he's stopping him from getting his surgery. It's just going to be Bull. That's the story. But all those people attacking him was actually Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the other goobers. That's why the guy in the
again.
That's why the guy in the costume looks so thin as well, because you knew he wasn't MJF.
Right. But I mean, in terms of what I would see as a success, I mean, that's what I would see as a success.
Yeah.
And now the more I think about it, maybe Edge wouldn't allow himself to recede back into mediocrity. He'd be like, "Look, you brought me here to bring this young talent along and be in some marquee programs."
Yeah. I think that's what it takes from what I've seen over there, Because think about the people that are there now, they're in the forefront. Well, okay, actually, easier way to do it for what we're talking about. Think about the people that should be featured more, but maybe are the people that wouldn't, have the pull to make a big point about it, or maybe just wouldn't because of their character. Alidalo, Miro. I can't imagine either of them being people that would hugely kick off, But Edge feels proud enough, at least, to know he knows his worth.
I like to think that if I was a wrestler in a promotion and I wasn't being used the way I thought I should, I'd have the temerity to go to my boss or go to the writers and say, what can I do to improve my situation here?
Well,
I mean, because I've talked about this before about, if I'm starting a promotion, I want an open door. I want you to feel like, come in and let's sit down, let's talk about it. You know, where do you see your character in 3 months? Where do you see your character in a year? That kind of thing. I know not everybody can be in that main event spot or the go home promo on my TV every week. You only can have one or two or maybe three people in that spot. But everybody should be working towards something. Whether you're enhancement talent or, you know, mid-card talent or top guys, you know, I just don't understand why.
That's why
Again,
not everybody
I don't know
is
why you
able
can't
to
find
build.
TV time for somebody like Keith Lee or Miro or Wardlow or
That's a good enough
whatever.
one, actually. Yeah, Keith Lee seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't usually kick off, you know, about his place, because he should be. Once again, I don't understand how you look at him and don't find a good storyline for him, something to do, because people want to see him as well. Like,
Yeah,
I understand why, you know, because you can do it. They did it for Swerve. He was in, started with him, you know, because they were both on TV a lot.
yes.
Keith Lee was there a lot. He was just on Rampage, you know. I don't know if maybe he ever thought that was the same, but it's not. I can see Tony Kahn thinking that was the same, you know. Oh, we'll just wait for Brian to stop dying. He stopped dying. It's okay. He's getting there. Don't worry, everyone. Hold on. I'll give him the count. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to go all the way to 10.
I am so sorry. I don't know what happened there.
Well, I was about to say not everyone is calm and collected as Brian, the sexual chocolate of wrestling with egos, but then that kind of, you know, took that away a bit.
I kind of buried the lead there.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, you're right though. I think Edge would be one of those people that would make sure that that's actually happening, and I think that's what you need there. From what I've seen, you need to know your worth. You need to actually not just be willing to sit back and accept the check, as they say, the paycheck. I think some of them are guilty of that as well.
And I feel like that's what's happening with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
So I'll pose that. Excuse me. Same. Wow. I'll pose.
Same question for me.
Same question to you.
What would I consider a
what would you consider as a successful first year?
See, it's a really hard thing though, because there's so much in that. I mean, when I look at Edge, I don't really think about the matches so much with him. I'm more thinking about the stuff he's doing on the mic. So I'm thinking about interesting feuds. I don't really know. Just I think put it in a nutshell, yeah, like you said, being on TV, being on Dynamite, obviously, you know, or Collision as well. Like I see that at the same level still at the moment. It's just I don't think Tony Khan does, unfortunately. But other than that, yeah, just being on TV all the time, being involved, doing actual things, not just being there, not just being a manager. I'd kid him more to Brian Danielson because his made sense his whole time, what he's been doing while he's been there. He hasn't kind of just disappeared forever. I think there's more they could have done with him as well, though, but like the title. But I kind of feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he's kind of stopping that, doesn't want the title. I'm hoping they do that in his last year, because if he doesn't get the title, then like ask in a year from now, if Brian hasn't had the title before he finishes, then I don't think it will be a successful one in AEW. So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking more. It needs to be over like a couple of years. You need to be doing something for like a good few years for it to be a really successful
Well, I
one.
agree with you on Brian Danielson because of the way he came out a couple weeks ago and kind of called his shot. You know, and kind of setting the timer on how much time he had left. It kind of feels inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
There's that
hopefully
air of inevitability about it.
I wouldn't be surprised though if he doesn't want to take the title away from like the younger people, which I get that completely. But at the same time, you got someone like Brian Danielson in your company. Not even for him, I'd say for the title, so the title can have had a champion such as Brian Danielson.
Right.
It can make the title mean a lot more, you know. So it's not even from a selfish point of view for him. I think it could make the title mean a lot more.
I agree. I'm actually waving my hands here because this will be a good point to like cut and then pick up again. I'm gonna run upstairs and grab a beverage and like something to
Yeah,
coat
yeah.
my
Do you
throat,
think? I'll
and
make
I'll
a
be
note.
right back. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. There's an easy way to get rid of coughing. Heat yourself on the head really hard. You won't even think about the coughing. You'll be fine. If you do it really
See
hard,
me
you get
lean
knocked
in
out.
like, what is it?
You get knocked out. You won't even notice them then as well. It's like you can work either way.
Well,
Stop, man. So like, shall we have a talk about like some dream scenarios for Edge, Adam?
yeah, yeah, we could finish it up by booking the ideal.
Well, actually, as well, maybe a little bit as well now. Like some of the examples of like things in the past with other people as well that like just some mistakes I've made in the past that we hope they don't make with Edge. Because we've already covered some of them anyway.
Right. Yeah, if you want
like,
to do that, I'll just count us back in.
I already assumed he was going back in already. I'll just cut his to. But okay, yeah, go on.
Well, yeah,
do
whatever.
proper like
That's fine. But yeah,
okay.
So I'll go like this,
Yeah.
A dream scenario for me for Edge would be, as I alluded to earlier, you spend about a month, maybe 2 with Christian. And then you start
winding dining, or you're talking about a feud?
No, you
want to spend a month together on like a romantic yacht?
No. I don't think we're ready for that kind of promotion. Besides, Chris Jericho already has the cruise.
That's true. Okay, that's why copyright infringement. I'm sorry. Okay.
But he can spend about 2 months doing a program with Christian. Because I feel like if he's going to win a championship, like he's got to get that out of the way first. Because I don't want Christian coming for the championship, being jealous or anything like that.
Do you think he shouldn't win the championship from Christian?
Well, yeah, and we did mention that. Like the TNT title would be a good mid card, and then he can turn around and like work with some young people, some young guys who need the rub. Kind of do like what John Cena did with the U.S. title.
Yeah,
back in the day, he was like fighting guys like Kevin Owens, and
it'd be quite cool if we did that. Because I was just thinking, the only issue with that, like, is you'd have to beat him then, to get the title off him, so you'd get a loss quite quick. But it'd be quite cool if a random person during him doing that, like, managed to just get a roll upon him and take the title. He did like an open challenge each week, and then a random person just managed to roll him up. It's like, oh, you cheeky bugger, well done, you. And then he could still, he hasn't lost anything.
I mean, and you don't have to really worry about losses hurting his resume or anything, because it's not like he's trying to prove himself. Edge is playing with house money here. Adam Copeland has nothing left to prove to anybody. He's playing with house money. His legacy is secured. Everything right now is icing on the cake. I would love to see him. Actually, a guy I would love to see him tangle with is Jay White, because I know, but I would love to see, like, that's another clash of styles, because
it is a clash of styles.
One
good, one bad.
And I feel like if Adam Cole is healthy, that would be a good match too, because Adam Cole's a younger guy, who has cited Adam Copeland as an influence in the past.
I could see that.
And then, all the usual suspects. If he could have a match with Kenny Omega, if he could have a match with MJF, if he could have a match with Darby, if he could have a match with if he could have a match with Bryan Danielson, I mean, that would be a good one-off.
Yeah, definitely.
Where, Brian is, like, the clock's ticking down on him, and he's got to go through Edge to, like, get to be a number 1 contender or something like that. I'd watch that match. But I do feel, when you brought that up earlier, I do feel like Adam Copeland does have the cachet to not become irrelevant. Like, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with somehow, some way, whether he's, you know, he's got a rival who he like, you know, sidles up to the commentary team. You know, I just want to scout this guy. I just want to kind of see what's going on. I want to get in his head. I want to see what he's made of, you know, that kind of thing. So I mean, what are you most looking forward to? I mean, what do you hope the next weeks and months hold for him?
I mean, a lot of it the same, like what we were talking about then, like, you know, the beginning stuff, the same. But I would really want to see, and I think he wants to do it as well, a proper, like, sadistic heel version of Edge, Adam. Like, because he tried to do it, obviously, with Judgment Day. And you could tell he wanted to do it. Apparently, that was something he wanted to do. But it just went off the rails quickly with him. You know, it just didn't work. And I don't think they were behind it, etc. And obviously, this is a company of stables as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a stable leader. But I'd like to see an evil, angry Edge. But maybe before that, though, if he's going to have a title run, I was thinking maybe a 6-man title run would be quite cool. Because I like that title, and I think it works really well as well for another title for a single person to have, because you just get slotted in with a tag team, and he's playing a good mate of FTR, and you got rated FTR right there, like, it's just perfect.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's
perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
So any
Give
of that
man
I've been
a
happy
contract.
With. To be honest, I only came up with that because somebody heard say, was it FT rated R? I was like, that's crap. What are you on about? For that, I was like, that's so much better.
Yeah,
silly person. But anyway, yeah, so that, and then after that, like heel Edge. I'm not even gonna bother trying to say fucking Adam at this point. Well, Battle of the Adams, that'd be good. Him, Adam Page, Adam Hangman. No, sorry, Adam Page. Adam, the one you just mentioned a second ago.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole. There's probably another one. Adam Jobber. Put him into. Adam Bomb. There you go. He was something.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Yeah, yeah. I don't see colour personally. I'm just call him more Adam personally myself, but that's up to you, Brian.
I feel like, you know, there's a lot of positive vibes with this. There's a lot of, you know, we're salivating over this the way we would salivate over, you know, Bryan Danielson on one of his great runs, or CM Punk on one of his great runs.
Yeah, it's good.
Kazuchika Okada showing up, you know, that kind of thing.
God, I'm not going to say anything about that, but I don't know him. I haven't really seen any of his stuff other than one that was in AEW, and it wasn't very good from what I remember. So I don't know. But
I told you there's a way to rectify that.
I don't want to. If the wrestling isn't on the
available on YouTube, no charge.
Man, if the wrestling is not on WWE or AEW, it never happened.
Oh boy,
it never happened, Captain. I didn't see it. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay, Vince.
That's the one issue. I do agree with that with Vince. You know, it's, I mean, I'm just not going to go back and watch it. I just don't. I probably would at some point, but I'm not going to do it until it just pops up randomly and I'm drunk and don't turn it off. I don't know when that would happen.
Tuesday is the answer.
No, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to what he can do. I'm kind of just waiting for it not to happen, but I have faith in him. So he's someone that to me could be like, because Brian Danielson's like doing a lot of stuff in the back as well and helping people. He feels like somebody that could really help people with their characters and that kind of stuff. And I think, I don't know, it feels like Tony's now starting to realize maybe the people to utilize a bit more and to listen to. I might just be saying that for no reason. Boots on the ground
kind of thing.
Yeah. But so he'd be a good one, and I think the possibility as well of Christian and him forming their tag team, which I think will happen at some point.
Yeah.
Then that'll be cool. Yeah.
I'm just really trying to underscore the importance of the company needing to get this one right.
Yeah.
You know, because of the missteps and because of the fans that they've lost with the Punk and Elite shenanigans and stuff like that, I feel like they can get back some eyes on the product and get some new eyes on their product that maybe they didn't have before.
Yeah. Edge
And
is
as
one of those people.
always, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Edge is one of the people that will definitely bring guys. Edge is
Yeah.
someone that people recognize. He's one of those very known people in wrestling. People that don't know wrestling know Edge. Like,
Of course.
I know a few people that, don't know wrestling in general. They don't watch wrestling at all, but they know who Edge is. I suppose that's one of the issues of not having a name, but, there'll still be new eyes coming on.
And as always, you can let us know how you feel about the arrival of Adam Copeland in AEW. Leave a comment down below. You can email the show, wrestlingwithegos@gmail.com. Let us know what you want to see Adam Copeland do in his time in AEW. When do you want him to win a championship? When do you want him to challenge for the AEW championship? We will look forward to seeing what they are able to accomplish in a new company with a whole bunch of new faces to tangle with. For KD, yes, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because, like you said before, with the way it's gone badly in the past, you could see that happening quite a few, you could see that easily happening. More than anything, not with anything particularly crap, just more fading into the background.
But the more we bandy this about, the more I think that Adam Copeland will not let that happen.
Oh, okay. We need to do it.
I think he'll be vocal enough behind the scenes to say, "Hey,
okay,
shall we? I need a little bit more than you're giving me here.
I'll jump on a plane. You guys gather all the guns and like a jeep. I'll get over there and we'll go down like a tank style, jeep style, like DX did, and we'll pull up to Tony Kahn and we'll tell him what to do. We'll make sure. I think that's what you were telling me.
Here's my notebook with all of my ideas in it. I wrote them in the perfect penmanship, and you're going to read these ideas.
Hey man, I heard about a guy that traveled across the world and figured out exactly where Mr. Beast was staying at, and managed to get through security things just to end up giving his security guy a list of ideas for videos to do.
Oh man, that's dedicated.
So, if he can do it, I think we can definitely do it, and we can do it.
Yeah, we should be able to pull it off. We'll start a GoFundMe after the show is over, and we'll see how many cents we earn on that.
I bet Patrick's a prepper. He seems like the kind. I bet he's got some stuff stored away.
I bet.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be all for this week. We look forward to the in-ring debut of Adam Copeland coming up this week against Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I don't. It's Luchasaurus. I don't look forward to that. Edge might get stopped before he even starts.
Well, we hope not.
That man's big.
But as I said before, let us know in the comments how you feel about Adam Copeland being in AEW. What matches are you looking forward to? What story arcs are you looking forward to? Because debuts like this are why we love professional wrestling. For Katie Hinken, for Patrick, who is in absentia this week but will be back soon, and for your boy, the intellectual savior of the wrestling masses, this has been Wrestling with Egos. We thank you for choosing us as your source for wrestling infotainment for the week, and we'll see you around.
Sure. Oodaloo.
And wabadoo.
I'll get in now. Wabadoo. I'd forgot.